What's going on, y'all? It's Mason Bleasdell, your Austin real estate agent, back for another one. We are in June now, which is insane. Again, I know I say it almost every month, but I can't believe how fast this year is going by. But this stats video, we're actually shooting at Santorini Cafe. I've been meaning to come here for a long time. It's actually pretty close to my house. And my wife and I honeymooned in Greece, so obviously love Greek food. Absolutely incredible, highly recommended. We were just over at my new listing down the road from here, dropping off marketing materials, and I was like, Sam, it's the perfect chance. Let's head over here for lunch. So highly recommended if you're in the area and you like Greek food like I do. But let's jump straight into it because stats, again, holding pretty strong. We're down a little bit from the last month when we saw those closed stats from, an interest rate area of about 6%. Now we're in the 7s and we're starting to see that translate over. But again, inventory is really strong. Now we do have the highest inventory we've had in almost 4 years. It's right around that number, with well over 10,000 homes available in the Austin MLS currently. So Austin and all of its suburbs. But a few things I want to talk about. First of all, let's talk about some current stats, what we can see from what's going on now to predict what's going on in the future. Let's talk about some closed stats from May, and then I'll wrap up giving my own personal opinion from my experience with my buyers and with my listings right now. So jumping straight in the last 7 days, pretty interesting, 1,311 new listings. Again, that is up from the previous month. Pretty typical of this time of year. We are in that entering summer kind of time frame where a lot of people decide to make a move. During that same time, 1,104 homes went pending. Again, I mentioned there's a lot of inventory right now. This is a perfect example of that. And during that same time period, 2,077 homes have had price drops. Now, I do want to note, these stats come from the entire Austin MLS. My experience in Austin proper, very few, especially in the areas where there's not a lot of availability. Those ones are not being crushed very hard. The suburbs, on the other hand, I just negotiated almost $100,000 off for one of my buyers in Leander. None of these things, now again, that's at a very high price point, but obviously a tremendous amount of money. It's interesting. There's been a lot of pressure on stuff. So I think we're starting to see that translate through. But let's jump straight into some May stats, because again, of course, this is very area specific and market specific, but it's not crazy. So check these out. May of 2024, 3,331 homes closed. That's pretty significantly up from March and from April. Average sales price held at $583,659, down just slightly from April. It was pretty up consistently for every month so far this year. So we're seeing it stabilize now. Average percent list price sales price at 97.9%. Average price per square foot down just a couple dollars to $269, and average days on market at 52, pretty substantially down actually from April. So again, the good houses are moving quick, and we can see that from this. During that same time, median sales price down just slightly from 450 to 445 from May. Median percent list price sales price at 99%. Same median price per square foot down a couple dollars, and then the median days on market down a couple to 25. Now, what does that show us? Market's still strong. Like, I wouldn't have fear if you are working on, prepping to sell your home over the summer. My listings, the one I just listed this morning, we had to rush. We were planning on shooting this video, but then I had to drop off those marketing materials. We got a, hey, can we show your house in 2 hours? Showing request. So depending on where you are, it's really strong. If you're out in the suburbs, there's a lot of price pressure right now, especially where there's new construction. Those builders are really offering a lot of incentives, cutting down their own profits to get homes sold. So anyways, this is all very case by case, but don't fear. Like, Austin's still very, very strong, and we're still well under that 6-month threshold of inventory to where this would flip over into a buyer's market. Now, during that same time, comparing this to May of 2023, 1 year ago, we're looking at 3,848 homes closed, which was a really substantial number at the time. So yes, we're less now, but that seemed to be an outlier. Average sales price of $581,000 at that time. Again, right about where we are now, a little bit lower. Average percent list price sales price at 97.7. Average days on market at 57. We're still pretty substantially up in price and then down in days compared to those. So always interesting. Median at that time, almost the same, 450. And then median days on market, just 2 higher than where we are now. So again, market seems to be stabilizing pretty well. Again, this is spring, summer. This historically is the best time of year to sell. It's when the most buyers are in the market. But we're seeing that translate through these stats. So, a little bit of experience from, what I've seen in the market lately. Rates right now are hovering in the very, very low 7% range. We were in the 6s earlier in the year. That's when we saw the biggest increase in pricing. You know, interest rates really do dictate pricing, no matter what the price range is. And even my cash buyers are very, very conscious of, you know, comparing what money costs and then where they think the market is going. Because at the end of the day, cash buyers are very educated buyers. They tend to be. So they keep an eye on what's going on here. Austin's holding really stable based on these numbers and based on what we've seen in a pattern from the last few months. So absolutely, the sky is not falling. Don't fear if you own your house and you're thinking about what's going on. But in reality, though, again, builders in the far out suburbs, you know, I think of Leander, for example, Liberty Hill, they're holding back a little bit of inventory, trying to push homes that they're having a tougher time selling. They're also doing pretty substantial like incentives or price cuts to try to get those homes moved. So, you know, if you're looking at a resale in that area, there's a lot of pressure on you right now. Down in Kyle, very much the same thing. Austin proper, though, homes are moving. It's been pretty impressive. Now, in the neighborhoods where there's a lot of more availability, there's obviously a lot more to compare it to. They're being a little bit more pressured than some, but anyways, market without doubt is strong. This is my busiest time of year. It always is, and this so far has been a record year in terms of just like the number of people calling me up and saying, hey, it's time to make a move. So pretty cool. If you're thinking about selling, if you're thinking about buying, you're curious what all of this means for you, where you live or where you're wanting to live, reach out anytime. I really hope this video was helpful to you, you know, just getting a sense of the market, getting a sense of where we are. If it was, give me a shout anytime. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next one.